Hello, welcome. I'm Marcia Myrie, your health and wellness, lifestyle, and mindset coach. Welcome home. I am actually outside in my backyard. The last time we spoke, I was at Providence Canyon, and the backdrop was a canyon. And today I decided, you know what, let me use my backyard. It's such a beautiful sunny day, and taking in the vitamin D, and again being very intentional because this is a lifestyle now of health and wellness, using lifestyle medicine in any form and fashion that I can possibly do. And so, being outside in my backyard, I don't take it for granted. Sitting on my patio, just sitting out in the sun. I have a hammock back here. I do need to clean. I would show it to you, but I do need to clean it off because I haven't used it for the season just yet. But I'm intentional about bringing things into my environment to promote health and wellness as well as lifestyle medicine and mindset change. So I thought about what would I talk about. I know last week I was sharing a lot of phrases with you about your mindset, adjusting and reframing the way you think. But I got a phone call from a friend of mine this Saturday, and I spoke to her while on my walk. And so, if you know me personally, if you're a family member, if you're a friend, or you're my children, you kind of get, complimentary coaching because I am known for helping to ask the right questions and reflect people and challenge people's thinking, so that they can optimize their lives or get clarity about something that they're grappling with. So I did speak with a friend of mine, and she thanked me when we got off the phone call because she was overthinking. She was ruminating. And as we talked about last week, about how the true barrier is what's going on between our ears, and it's in our mind. And so today, just reflecting on that conversation, by the end of the conversation, helped her to lock in on an action step. And she said, you're so right because I talked myself out of this and I talked myself out of that. And part of the talking herself out of is because she never locked herself into anything. And I was going to hold off in teaching and sharing this tool, very basic. A lot of time people use and are exposed to what I'm about to tell you in their place of employment, where they work. If they have any type of professional job, most time people are familiar with the term SMART goals. And if you're hearing this now, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, we have objectives at work. There are performance goals. Yeah, we use SMART goals. And what you'll find is in coaching, I borrow a lot of the strengths that you already have because you already have the answers. It's already locked in you. It's just that you're using it for everybody else, but not for yourself. And so, what is a SMART goal? It is a tool to help you achieve a specific goal. And it's an acronym. You take each letter, and each letter represents a word. It's a way to filter a goal, and by doing this, it increases your chances of simply achieving your goal. So the S in SMART stands for make the goal specific, not general, not vague. You want to make the goal very specific. So it's not, oh, I want to, let's use something very common. Oh, I want to exercise. That's very vague. It is, I want to. What type of exercise would you like to do? Do I want to go walking? Do I want to turn on a YouTube video? Do I want to put on some music and dance around the house? Do I want to go swimming? Do I want to go hiking? Right? Specific. Making the goal specific. And then we want to make the goal measurable. Measurable. How I want to measure the goal. And this helps you with tracking. And so measurable could be, I want to, let's take walking. I want to walk 5 days a week for 30 minutes. And why did I choose those metrics? Because the CDC recommends that we all should walk or have some type of cardiovascular activity for 150 minutes per week. And so we can break it down however you like, as long as we get 150 minutes in a week. So I just chose randomly 5 days a week for 30 minutes. And that might be where you want to get to. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you haven't done any stretch of exercise for any length of time, we want to break that goal down even further, because we want the goal to be achievable for you right where you are. And so, for instance, if you have not done any form of exercise, 5 days might be a lofty goal and it may not be achievable for you. So maybe after 2 months you want to get to the 5 days, but right now, let's just start with 1 day or 2 days. So what does that look like? So now the new specific goal is walking. The new measurable goal is now 1 day for 30 minutes or 1 day for 20 minutes. It's totally individualized. I told you I used to be a teacher, so some students would have IEPs, individual educational plans. So coaching is the same way. It is very individualized. So for you, it might be 1 day, could be 2 days, could be 3 days. But for the purpose of this example and demonstration, we're going to say 5. So specifically 5 days, we're going to do it for 30 minutes. That's the A. That's the achievable, actionable goal. And we want to make it relatable or relevant. That's what the R stands for, because it is relevant to your overarching goal that you have for yourself, which is health and wellness. That's attached to the value that you have for being healthy. Now, values, we'll talk about that in another session, because that is going to be the stickiness. That is going to help you stay with the goal long term. That stick-to-itiveness. We'll talk about values another day. So what have we covered so far? S, make that goal specific. You're going to walk. M, measurable. We're going to do 5 days a week for 30 minutes. We said that's achievable based on where you are, but if you need to do less, we'll change that goal so that it is maybe 1 or 2 days for the very first week, and we can build up to 5 days. Then we have SMAR. We said R is relevant to your overarching goal. And it's also, you can say, realistic. There's a couple of R's you can use in this acronym. And the last one is T, time bound. So time bound could be, and oftentimes when I'm working with clients, I keep the time bound within 1 week, 7 days. Because we're not going to project for what you're going to do for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, a year. No, we're staying just in a week. And time bound also means we're going to put it on the calendar. If you were going to the doctor's and it was whatever day you were going to go to the doctor, whether it was this week or next week, you would probably know because you put it on the calendar. Or if you're not a calendar person, you might have a sticky and you put it on your refrigerator door saying, oh, I go to the doctor on this date. So basically what I'm saying, whatever system that you currently use that works for you, use it for whatever goal that you are committing to. So in this case, I use my calendar, and most people that I talk to, they use a calendar. If they use a calendar at work to meet with their boss, a client, then we want you to use a calendar for yourself because it's already a strength. Remember I told you we want to leverage in coaching. So let's leverage the fact that you already know how to use a calendar. It's a skill that you already know how to do. So that is what you want to do. You want to make sure that I don't care what the goal is. So from this day forward, I don't care if you are practicing mindfulness techniques. I don't care if the new thing that you're working on for this upcoming week is taking deep breaths. Even though you know how to breathe, but because you're doing it in a different way for a different reason, it becomes now a goal. You want to make it specific. You want to make it measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Because if it's not on the calendar, if you don't know specifically what you're going to do, the likelihood of it getting done decreases. Now, there are so many studies that has proven this, so I want to tell you that this is evidence-based and this is best practices. Remember those two words I told you? And I think that was the first week. Evidence-based, best practices. And listen, if you know, you know. A wise person said, when we write the vision down at the appointed time, we get to run with it and it gets done. If you know, you know. And so that's all I want to share with you today. And I just encourage you to use SMART goals. Begin to practice SMART goals this week to the best of your ability. I thank you for stopping by once again, and remember that lasting change often begins with just one decision and sometimes just one coach.